rescale the heights themselves under Ufuk Talay. We're hoping for a good crowd. The weather has been changeable, tropical, you could say, as is often the case up in these parts. Some torrential rain in the mid-late afternoon, but the pitch, which is showing a few battle scars from a concert on the weekend, will hopefully hold up, as there we see our two sides and some familiar faces to both teams. Ben Wallen spent time, Harry van der Sarg, of course, at Sydney FC, and there are a couple of players the other way as well. Jordan Courtney-Perkins, you can see there with the number 4 shirt, the former Brisbane Roar player as well. Both these sides looking to bounce back from losses to the new kids on the block, Auckland. Sydney was last weekend, Brisbane 2 weekends ago after the bye last weekend. The home team back at home and looking for that first win of the new season. And for Sydney FC, well, they're getting used to being on the road, whether it's on the continent or in the A-League. They've started now with 3 away games in a row. You can see the Guard of Honour, Chad Gibson there, the first ever captain of Queensland Roar, and a few of his season 1 teammates in attendance as well, who will be honoured this evening and are watching from a suite in the crowd. The 20th season, one for celebrating the history of the A-League. And for Ruben Zankovic and his starting 11 this evening, 2 changes from the side that lost 2-0 to Auckland on the opening day. Out go Joe Coletti and the Ecuadorian Nessar Acosta. He misses out with injury. Corey Brown's back from suspension, and Hossein Bility comes into that 4-2-3-1 formation. The bye last weekend means that both Florent Berengate from injury and 16-year-old Quinn McNichol from international duty are available on the bench. And going from the teenager McNichol to the veteran 36-year-old Jay O'Shea. He scored on debut for Brisbane Roar back in 2019 in the 2018-19 season. It was against Sydney FC, but since then, in 14 A-League matches, they are the only side in the A-League he hasn't scored against, if we overlook the 90 minutes against Auckland 2 weeks ago as well. So he'll be looking to set that statistic straight. For the visitors, Sydney FC, 2 changes for them as well. For that much-travelled side, Douglas Costa, Joe Lolly and Corey Holman all miss out through injury. Joel King and Max Burgess come back into the starting 11. Patrick Klimala will lead the line in attack after his goal and an assist in the derby. It was he that was called offside when Hayden Matthews thought he'd given Sydney the lead against Auckland. On the bench, 6 outfield players with an average age of just 19 and a half, from the 17-year-old Marin France to the 22-year-old Jaden Kucharski. Excellent at left back this season. We may have a new position for Jordan Courtney-Perkins this evening, higher up on the left-hand side. It's his 50th A-League start. And of course, it all started out with Brisbane Roar between 2019 and 20. Spent time there at the start of last season on loan as well from his Polish side. Our referee this evening is not Ali Reza Fagani. It's Shane Skinner, just his 6th match in charge of an A-League contest. His first was just over a year ago in Brisbane. Brisbane Roar against Newcastle. It finished 3-0 that day to the home side. Ruben Zankovic, he spent 3 seasons playing at Sydney FC alongside Ufuk Talay. Ufuk Talay, who was on the score sheet in Sydney FC's first ever match, an Oceania Champions League qualifier against Brisbane Roar, and a 3-0 win. We are underway in round 3 of the Isuzu UTE A-League competition. Big match for these two sides, both looking to bounce back from defeats already this campaign. Daniel McBreen, Sydney, one of the pre-season favourites, not the case for Brisbane. But at home, we know that the record between these two sides is too tight to split them.
Well, good evening, Robbie. I'm still trying to digest all those stats that we got just in the pre-match there. Wonderful stuff. Yeah, just let this go as the pass goes astray over the sideline. But yeah, Sydney FC, one of the pre-season favourites. A couple of injuries tonight, a few players missing. we heard Ruben Zadjevic say that with the week off, they've had an extra week to stew over that loss to Auckland. And he'll be looking for something for his team tonight. If they're going to do it, this would be the perfect opportunity.
The throw back from Courtney Perkins to Andrew Redmayne. Popovic forward with Grant. We'll just see if there isn't a little trick in Ofuktale's formation. Here is Joel King, back in his familiar position of left back, or are we looking at a little three at the back possibly from Sydney FC this evening?
Well, I think when in possession, we're seeing it a lot now, aren't we, across football in the world, where there's a 4-4-2 when they're out of possession, and 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 in possession, with one of the fullbacks pushing high as a winger. They don't normally play one position this day and age. You have to be across two or three.
Max Burgess, who was sent off just minutes after coming on in the derby on the opening day, suspended for the trip to Auckland, but did manage to provide an assist in Japan against Hiroshima Sanfrecce. It's over the top. Oh, the clearance by Popovic, not the most convincing. Leo Senna gets the ball forward. It was intended for Waim. It found Klimala.
Well, we saw earlier in the close-up there's just a little spattering of rain, and it looks to have made it a little bit greasy on top of the pitch. You can see a few sections of the pitch have been relayed. The Travis Scott concert recently.
Saturday night.
I'm just wondering if players are just needing to adjust to the surface.
Good. And it was checked yesterday. Suncorp and Brisbane Roar officials came and had a look and gave the playing surface the all clear, although it didn't really pass the test of Rafael Strauch, who just before the game, speaking to Tara, said pitch could be a little bit better.
It's not like the Dutch to tell the truth, is it? They'll tell it how it is.
Dutch-Indonesian, as the case may be.
Well, yeah.
Now we see Jordan Courtney Perkins back there alongside Hayden Matthews. Thought he had his first goal in the A-League against Auckland, ruled out for that offside in the build-up against Patrick Klimala. Now Max Burgess, he's got a bit of a point to prove. He was on the receiving end of a fair bit of criticism after his red card in the derby, which in the end didn't prove costly. Sydney FC winning that one 2-1. Leo Senna, an outstanding footballer, finds Grant. Oh, space here for Caceres on the edge of the area. Back outside with Burgess. Sydney FC on the front foot. 4 minutes in, Burgess still. He provided the assist for Adrian Segicic to almost set up a grandstand finish against Hiroshima Sanfrecce in Champions League 2. Caceres again. Oh, it's a great ball for Klimala, and it's a great save as well. Macklin Freak, the flag goes up for offside. It looked tight.
Well, it was very tight. It looked like on first viewing that he may have timed it to perfection. Oof, it is tight. Maybe he has just drifted into an offside position, but Macklin Freak did well, didn't he? He said this week that he wants to stand up and make his team feel like they're very comfortable at the back with him there. There's a point to prove. Well, first opportunity, he's done well.
He said in the press conference yesterday, Macklin Freak, that he wanted to work on his decision-making, be decisive, own the penalty spot. He actually said come out and smash people when he needs to.
I like it.
He kept his eyes on the ball that time. It was Burke Gilroy. Just lost his footing for a moment. Harry van der Sarg was there to help out. Brisbane Roar resplendent in their retro Season 1 kits that have been reworked by their brand designer and first ever captain, Chad Gibson, as we just heard, chatting to Tara and Broski in the pre-game. Caceres, again closed down quickly by Harry van der Sarg, who knows this Sydney team very well.
Well, the urgency there to close down Anthony Caceres before he could face forward was evident. They know how dangerous he can be in those little pockets.
Too strong from Brisbane there in the middle of the park. Walid Shaw, the Sierra Leone midfielder who plays internationally for Lebanon, as here goes Van der Sargo. His eyes lit up for a moment there and the ball got away. Jay O'Shea trying to pirouette his way through. I think he's officially a club legend now, Jay O'Shea, in his 6th full season. The Shaw does well, caught in 2 minds, now finds Anthony Burke-Gilroy. The cutback looked a good one as well, and the ball still unable to be cleared. Halloran was looking to arrive late on the scene there. Corner goes Brisbane's way.
Well, good positive play again, winning the ball, Brisbane, and looking to go forward. You see here the cross needed to be cut out there. He's heading towards an orange shirt.
Corey Brown to deliver near post, and it was Walid Shaw. Well, let's head down to Tara Rushton, who's on the sidelines for us this evening. Tara, how is the atmosphere there? Drying out, I guess?
I've gone full Rihanna team. I've under my umbrella, Ella. I've got to say, though, it was raining so heavily about 3.5 hours ago. There was a hailstorm, hail as big as peas, but it has eased off. Tropical conditions here, about 23 degrees, and it says the rain will clear by about 7 p.m. So here is hoping. And you mentioned Travis Scott. Not too sure whether Mac is a fan of the rapper and his music.
Hang on a second, Tara, because there's a chance here, and it's just nodded wide. The flag was up for offside anyway against Klimala.
Offside again, but so close from Patrick Klimala. He's looked so good in these opening moments of the game. But yes, back to Macca's music taste. Travis Scott, 12 hours around Suncorp Stadium to get in here for the concert that have left a couple of pock marks on the pitch. But a gorgeous night overall, gents.
Thank you very much, Tara Rushton on the sidelines. We might be back to get your thoughts, musical or otherwise.
I do know Travis Scott. My sons listen to him. I'd say it's my favourite.
I'm going to give all of this a wide berth.
I wasn't paying the $350 a ticket to go and watch him anyway.
Now Joel King. As Courtney Perkins came short, Caceres ran into the hole behind. Halloran looking to keep tabs on him. Caceres all the way across with Popovic. Burgess wants it to feet. Now looks up. That's a good ball. It's a greatly timed run again from Klimala. And it's blocked by Warland off the chest, and now we have a corner up the other end.
Well, he's going to run the risk of going offside, isn't he? Because he is constantly running off the shoulders of the centre-backs, causing them problems. He's going to get a few wrong, but when he gets it right, he's going to cause all kinds of problems. Ball just held up a little bit there, which slowed it down, but always looking to make those dangerous runs in behind.
And Aswaim, the German-born Moroccan, standing over this corner, takes it short with Burgess. Pretty well defended by Keegan Jelicic. Leo Senna back with Caceres again. Waim. If this is a team move, then it's a very elaborate one. Seems to have lost its way a little bit, but may yet result in something. Ball to the back post. Ryan Grant was there. Joel King flicks it back over the top, and again it's Klimala. It really is that fox in the box, just waiting for any crumb to fall his way. Waddingham gets the better of Joel King. Now Halloran with Senna. Senna almost gave it back again momentarily. Falls, referee allows play to continue still. And Halloran, after a good 10 or 15 metres of wrestling with Leo Senna, it's Ben Halloran who's won the free kick.
Well, it was a non-stop struggle, wasn't it? I don't think there was anything there. You heard that's what him saying he likes the UFC. It was getting a little bit rough and tumble at the end there. Maybe he'd like to get a front seat on that action.
Leo Senna, who already is such an important piece of the puzzle for Fuktale. Corey Brown was just about to take it when referee Shane Skinner came in to have a word to Warland and Popovich. Warland, who was at Sydney, they'd be Adelaide teammates from the start of last season, the season before as well. Ball in, and a comfortable one to Andrew Redmayne. Now Courtney Perkins with Caceres. Sydney FC with the Lions' share of possession against the Raw. Waim steps on the ball, still has enough time to get back up and complete the pass. Joel King, great switch of play for Ryan Grad. Senna just trundling around in the middle of the park. It's Popovich, a little bit too casual with that one. Here's Warland again with Brown. O'Shea hasn't seen too much of the football yet. O'Shea, here's space for Courtney Perkins, palmed away by Macklin Freak.
Well, his first touch wasn't the greatest. He had to try to dig it out from under himself, but still managed to force the save from Macklin Freak. Courtney Perkins.
It's the second save Macklin Freak has had to make already. Now Walid Shaw, that's a good ball for Jelicic. Just behind him, got Waddingham and Burke Gilroy in the middle. Halloran's joining them. Jelicic still dispossessed by Burgess. Caceres. There's Burgess coming deep to pick up the ball from Leo Senna. It's a good ball from Matthews to find Burgess, and now Waim. This is where he's dangerous. Courtney Perkins with Caceres. Looking for the run of Ryan Grad. Jelicic under pressure. Brown does well. Strong challenge. Sydney FC are a side that like to have the ball. That's a clever little touch again from Waim. Was Klimala onside? He's charging forward still. Bility coming across just to try and ward him out of play. And it will be a goal kick which is taken very quickly. Walid Shaw wearing the number 8 for Brisbane Roar in the middle of the park. Experienced international with Lebanon now. He's had a remarkable career, a much travelled life as well. Here's Halloran. The ball back for Burke Gilroy, and Waddingham was there as well. Now Van der Sark drives it back near post. Joel King not taking any chances. Waim with front position. And a good response from Brisbane Roar.
Well, it certainly feels a game like there's going to be goals. It just won't quite stick at the moment. Both teams have been showing some enterprising play going forward. There's that earlier shot from Courtney Perkins, just dug it out from underneath him. And the response came from Brisbane.
Redmayne again finding Burgess in the little half spaces between the lines. Not the easiest bouncing ball on the Travis Scott pitch at Suncorp. That's clever from Caceres, lovely skill. Joel King, Courtney Perkins. A couple of boos for the former Raw defender. The pass from Joel King looking for Waim wasn't a bad one, it just didn't get through. You can see Mufuktale in that high press already. 5 Sydney FC players in the front third as Jay O'Shea decides to try and run the ball out from the back. Heavy touch from Waim, one for Waddingham to chase with Popovic. Redmayne comes a long way. Oh, the mistake from Grant. And Jelicic really let the Sydney FC skipper off the hook there.
Well, I thought he would have just swung the leg first time. Redmayne was nowhere to be seen in his goal mouth.
Positive press from Brisbane as well. Both sides trying to play the football in their opposition half. Grant again with Caceres. Sandwiched by Burke, Gilroy and Waddingham. Halloran, nice touch, Jelicic. Look at that counter press immediately from Sydney. Just no time or space. And they've won it back by the throw.
Here's another look at that opportunity. I just thought, just swing the leg, have a strike. If it hits the target, there's no stopping it. Redmayne was well out of his penalty area.
Big switch of play. Van der Sarg. That's there ahead of Courtney Perkins, but he's given it away. Waim turns to face goal. Burgess, little one over the top for Klimala. Bodies collide and fall in the box. Referee allows play to continue. Centre again, settles things down with Joel King. He is the metronome in this Sydney side, the Brazilian number 15, the one that sets the tempo from the base of midfield before unleashing the attacking talents ahead of him, the likes of Burgess and Caceres, Waim. There you see, every time they get the ball, they do try and look forward. Ability. With Macklin free, and a little miscommunication there between the defender and goalkeeper. It was almost the "what are you passing to me for" look from Macklin Freak. Popovic all the way back to Redmayne. Caceres coming deep, and again Corey Brown wins it back this time with Jelicic now. Immediately Sydney not allowing Brisbane any time on the ball to try and set themselves. Bility. The Ollie-Roo with O'Shea. Warland with Brown. A big up and under and a little nudge in the back, but the flag was up anyway for offside against Ben Halloran. Well, these two sides met in the Australia Cup final 2 seasons ago. It was the teenager Tom Waddingham that gave Brisbane Roar the lead. He scored in the last 16, the quarters, the semis and the final, but it wasn't enough for Sydney FC, and Fabio scored either side of a Robert Mack goal in the second half to give Sydney the cup and the 3-1 lead. They got their revenge a couple of weeks later. It was week 2 of the season last year, and a 3-0 win for Brisbane. Henry Hoare with a double either side of Nikola Mileusnic. Both those players have moved on from Brisbane as the free kick goes Sydney's way eventually. There have been a number of departures and arrivals, ins and outs during the off-season for Brisbane. Anthony Caceres is still in the ear of Shane Skinner. They're asking that the free kick be taken from the correct place, and we're finally back underway. It certainly is a new look Brisbane Roar under Ruben Zatkovic this season. No Tom Aldred, Henry Hoare, Taras Gamulka, Kai Truant, Marco Rojas, Mileusnic, Carlo Armiento, Jez Lofthouse. It's a long list.
Well, Henry Hoare's actually on loan, isn't he? I think he signed an extension, but I think he'll be back in the January window from
the
memory.
Korean League finishes. Yeah. Be interesting to see where Tolgay Arslan goes at the end of his 6 months with Sanfrecce. Here is Courtney Perkins. Joel King back in. And again. Nodded on by Joel King. A little touch for Courtney Perkins. Closed down quickly by Van der Sar. Klimala pounces on the loose ball in the middle of the park. Invites Grant forward. Jelicic does well with Walid Shaw. Ability. Oh, Popovic sliding in. Now the free kick has gone Sydney's way. There was Keegan Jelicic, the other player involved. And, that's a very good challenge by Popovic.
Well, I don't see any foul for mine there. He gets the ball, his toes pointed, he's up, doesn't get him with the studs. He
did well to keep his studs down.
Studs on the
ground.
floor.
There is a yellow card, however, for Keegan Jelicic. Perhaps just for arriving too late, perhaps?
Yeah, sorry, I interpreted it was a free kick the other way. My apologies.
Ali Reza Fagani, the 4th official. A little shake of the hand between Popovic and Jelicic. Courtney Perkins comes inside. Waim at the second attempt for Burgess, who creates the space beautifully. Burgess still jinking inside, shoots back across Klimala's touch, and Courtney Perkins is denied by Van der Sar.
Well, you can see Max Burgess there asking for a foul. Could have swore there was handfuls of shirt here. If you have a look, Wallen grabs 1-2. Then it's there again as well, Corey Brown. Macklin Farik comes up with a good save in the end. I think it's a good advantage in the end from the referee.
And the corner taken quickly. Look at the space here for Senna. His cross. Klimala was peeling off, trying to find some space. Joel King now. Crosses back in, back post. Only orange shirts. Burke Gilroy with Jelicic. Now is there a break on? Waddingham coming through the middle. By the time it arrives from Jelicic, Waddingham had strayed into an offside position and put the brakes on. Seven goals in the league last season for Tom Waddingham, already 11 in his first full season of Cup and League last year. A fantastic return for someone that started the league as a 16-year-old. And he is very much the main man in attack this season for Ruben Zatkovic's side.
Ruben Zatkovic has said there has been interest from overseas for Tom Waddingham. It feels he needs to get more A-League games under his belt, keep building his game as a footballer.
He started last season as an 18-year-old. It was Quinn McNichol who was the 16-year-old. Yeah, that's a very big 16-year-old on the field. Here's Grant with Popovic. Quinn McNichol, who is on the bench this evening for Brisbane for the first time this season, back from international duty with the young Socceroos.
Youngest Australian Cup goal scorer.
Yep, that's right.
15
That is
years
his.
of age against Sydney United, wasn't it?
No.
5-0 win.
Exactly. Waddingham was on the score sheet that day as well. Two A-League appearances last season for McNichol. Captain of the under-17s that recently qualified for the Asian Cup. Ball over the top. It's another good run from midfield. Caceres against Bility. It's well defended by Osin Bility. And he's got the goal kick.
Well, he did very well there. And this time it's Caceres making the run in behind. I think he just couldn't quite get the first touch that he wanted, and it allowed Bility to get his body in the way. Good strength as well.
Born in Guinea, in West Africa, arrived in Adelaide at 6 years of age. Osin Bility signed for Midtjylland in Denmark in 2020, then after a season on loan in Iceland, headed to Portugal, where he is now on loan from Mafra, the second division side in Portugal. Halloran, a little 1-2 with Jelicic. Jelicic battling hard to try and win it back. Another player who tried his luck overseas. He went to Ghent in Belgium, an excellent Belgian side. Spent a season, half a season on loan at Stabæk before heading back to Perth. Opportunity beckoning for the young Aussies in the A-League this season, the 20th season of the competition. Senna. Beautifully done. Zatkovic urging his players to put the press on. They have to be careful not to get caught out, though. Here's Klimala. Passability, nicely done. Klimala, ball to the back post. Well defended by Corey Brown.
Well, it was nice play from Sydney FC. And when Patrick Klimala looked up, he was looking for someone to be there in his position. And saw the advancing run at the back post, and Corey Brown had to flick it away from Ryan Grant. Lovely feet there. You see, he just has a little look up. He thinks the best option is the dink to the back post.
I've seen a couple of elaborate corner moves from Sydney FC already in this half. Again, Burgess and Waim are there. This time it's to the back post. Joel King, the free header. And Ryan Grant can't control the shot set up by Hayden Matthews. Well, that was a more direct but very efficient move that found plenty of space for Joel King at the back post.
We'll see all the Sydney players go into the 6 yard. Allows Joel King to attack it, and as a ball falls here for Ryan Grant, he looked like he was a little bit worried about the challenge that was coming in. And rather just flicked his toe at the ball rather than striking through it.
It was an excellent opportunity for Sydney FC. It was goal bound, the header from Joel King. Van der Sar for Jelicic. He gives it away. Quick feed again. Senna now. Senna onto the right foot. He just clamped down on his cross a little too much. No elevation. Nice control from Grant. For Burgess. Grant goes again. Faces up against Warland. Matthews for his captain, Burgess again. Grant is bundled over in the back play by Corey Brown. They've defended well enough though, Brisbane. It's just very hard to get any time on the ball at the moment. Sydney FC really trying to just suffocate the life out of Brisbane every time they get their foot on the ball.
Well, the same could be said for the other way as well. Both teams really strong in the press, being urged on by their coaches on the sideline.
Centre again, and Burgess seeing a lot of the football. Max Burgess onto his left foot, coming central, looking for Courtney Perkins. Good challenge. Popovic wins it back immediately with Caceres. Here's Senna. Oh, great ball. Good run from Waim, spotted by the Brazilian. Waim one way then the other. Here's Caceres. Anthony Caceres goes down just as he was shooting. Now Hayden Matthews. Waim, his control is poor. Anthony Caceres is very slow to get back to his feet inside the box. The shots are starting to stack up in Sydney FC's favour. Was there something more in the contact there?
Well, there wasn't really any shouts from the players. Caceres in particular, he just lost his footing maybe as he went to strike the ball.
Waim buffeting around off Warland and Brown. O'Shea, the little 1-2 with Shaw. That's well played. Anthony Burke-Gilroy for O'Shea again. Ten minutes to go in this first half. It's been a dominant Sydney FC so far, particularly down that right-hand side. Max Burgess is operating.
Well, that's a side we've also seen Ryan Grant push forward. They go to that back three.
is no Joe Lolly or Douglas Costa. Again, just to remind people of the depth and strength in this Sydney FC side, and come here with arguably their two best attacking weapons, both unavailable. They've still done enough to probably just about be leading here, as there's the challenge again. Halloran on Caceres. VAR had a look and cleared it pretty rapidly.
Caceres had a little look at the referee as well, didn't he? Just posed half a question.
Is there a foul there on Halloran? No, says the referee. Too strong from Burgess. Courtney Perkins again comes inside Van der Sar. There was some grabbing on that time by the Brisbane number 17.
Well, Harry Van der Sar has been tight and in the face of any Sydney FC player that's been in his area on that occasion. A little too tight. Allowed Courtney Perkins on the inside and had to resort to the foul.
Caceres with Waim, Leo Senna. Cross in, the glancing header. Well, we've seen that to good effect so far. Courtney Perkins claims that it came off a ref after, came off a Brisbane player after him.
Well, on first viewing I thought so as well, but it wasn't. It was Klimala, was it, behind him? Yeah.
Sydney 17 touches in the opposition box for 7 shots, 2 on target. I think you can add Klimala's offside shot, which was a fantastic save from Macklin Freak right at the start of the match as well, to that list. Just 2 shots at goal for Brisbane so far. Perkins gives it back, and Halloran a little too eager to get the ball forward.
Well, they have been a little bit rushed and just forcing the issue at times, haven't they?
Oh, this time Hayden Matthews has given it away dangerously, and Jelicic's touch got away from him.
Well, on that occasion it was a great ball. I think it was Jay O'Shea who stepped in to win it, and he sees that Jelicic has got on the inside there of Popovic. He needs to do better with the first touch.
He knows it as well. Keegan Jelicic. Now Corey Brown. Back post. It's a good ball to the back post. I think it was Ben Warland in the end who got his head on it and couldn't keep it down.
Well, that's a great opportunity. Great ball from Corey Brown to the back post area. So he gets goal side. And you watch here, yeah, he knows, I should have done better there. Really should be hitting the target from that distance. Maybe it was just a little body check at the last moment that just didn't allow him to get his head over the ball.
It's Alexander Popovic, his former Adelaide teammate, doing just enough. Van der Sar straight back, only as far as Leo Senna again. Turning the ball over a little too cheaply at the moment. Some technical errors that are proving costly for Brisbane. Senna. Well, he is enjoying his football in Australia so far. Leo Senna getting more and more adventurous, it seems, with each touch in each match as well. Burgess. Again, A diagonal run from Klimala. Grant, the cross in. Courtney Perkins arriving, cleared only as far as Joel King. Van der Sarg with the important touch. Burke Gilroy, and again it's a heavy touch. Well defended by Matthews. Waim back in. Here's King. Sydney trying to tighten the screw here. Courtney Perkins with Caceres. Waim looking back for Caceres. All hands on deck for Brisbane at the moment as we approach the half-time break. Sydney looking to take the advantage. King just squeezes it out the back door. Courtney Perkins again with King. Square ball was just under hit, cut out by Burke Gilroy. Van der Sarg has just kept it in play. Tom Waddingham has done well. He had nowhere to go. His only solution was to try and win a free kick, and he did it.
Sydney were claiming that the ball went out. Didn't look like the whole ball went over, and then Waddingham was fouled. They haven't had too much possession, have they, Brisbane Roar, in this first half? Just 27%. I think they've been quite scrappy and loose with the ball when they've won it, particularly when there's opportunities and Sydney are spread open and the opportunities to go forward. They've been very sloppy with their touches. They've rushed some of the passes. They've given that ball back to Sydney FC a little too easily, I'm sure, for Ruhel Zadkovic's liking.
Centre. King. Sydney have conceded goals in both their matches so far. They have, however, in their first two matches, faced 30 shots at their goal. Only Newcastle and the Wanderers conceded more shots at their goal in the opening two rounds.
Well, they've certainly fixed that one for this, haven't they? Not one on target against, only 3 in this whole first half.
That ball just hitting referee Shane Skinner. It will be a Brisbane ball. Jay O'Shea was looking to fire the ball forward. Walid Shaw played for Al Aed last season, who lost the AFC Cup final to the Central Coast Mariners. Talked about his footballing journey. He played for FC Calon, the club of Mohamed Calon, the famous Sierra Leone striker that played for Inter Milan. Then spent time at Luton Town in England as a teenager. Went to China to study at university, played amateur football there before getting picked up by Al Aed. 6 seasons there and a passport, and now a full international as Courtney Perkins is denied initially by Warland. He's won it back though. Grant, back post, too high for Klimala. And it's another let-off for Brisbane Roar as Klimala's ball in, dealt with by O'Shea and Billity. 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half. And they head to the sheds. Sydney will be wondering why they are not in front after what has been a dominant first half performance. Waim denied. Jelicic. Corey Brown under pressure, and again Sydney may have time for one last attack. centre. Goes past Waddingham. Oh, and he gets the free kick, only just off Tom Waddingham. Knowing, yes, there's a foul. That was a foul.
This looks good kill as well.
When you're a foreign player, you have to learn those important words very quickly when you arrive in a new country. Macklin Freak with a couple of excellent saves in that first half. He needed to be in fine form because it's Sydney FC who've dominated for large periods here at Suncorp, unable to find the breakthrough as of yet. At half-time here in Brisbane, it's the Raw 0, Sydney FC 0.
Sydney FC are well and truly on top in this first half here at Suncorp Stadium, but have nothing to show for it. We are off to a short break. We'll be back with the Hungry Jacks halftime show. I'll be joined by Alex Bross on the other side.
The guys have done an amazing job keeping the doors open. The reality is that it can't keep going on the way it is.
This is half time. We've stood in this position here today and gone through things no one else has ever endured. To come through everything you've been through, it's unbelievable, fellas.
That's not by chance. That's by hard work.
Yeah, November 8th, mark that date in your diary. Welcome to the Hungry Jacks halftime show live from Suncorp Stadium, where it's 0-0, Alex Brost, between Brisbane Roar and Sydney FC. Sydney FC are well and truly on top in this first half of football. You can see, though, Brisbane Roar are trying to really counter that press. I'm sitting right behind Ruben Zakovic on the sideline. It might be the sugar-free Red Bull, but he hasn't sat down for really any of the game. But how have you seen the first half from your perspective?
I think it's, look, Sydney have controlled the majority of the ball. They've gotten into good areas. The possession they've kept has been great, but I think you can see the fact that Lolly and Costa aren't there at the moment. Those link-up plays when it comes to crucial moments just has been a little bit off. I don't think the pitch is helping all that much. It's quite bobbly when they get into key areas. And look, I think for Brisbane, they need to be careful. There's been a few times when they have tried to press Sydney, and Sydney just picked them apart with their quality football. So I think for Brisbane, it's just about keeping shape and waiting for their moments. They've had a couple, probably the better of a couple chances that they could have done better with. But so look, probably an even game, I think, in terms of chances created. But Sydney edging the possession for sure.
Taking a look at the Harvey Norman highlights here, and you can see that Brisbane Roar have breached the defence of Sydney FC. This happening very early in the game, but Patrick Klimala has had a host of opportunities, a couple offside calls there, but he's been so busy calling for the ball at every opportunity.
Look, Ilfie said it pre-game. They need to find ways to get him the ball. They need to understand that takes time. So I think for Sydney, you can see the benefit of the amount of games they've played because they're starting to work him into it, but it still needs to be better. He does so well at getting on the shoulder and in between players and looking like he's not interested and then popping up at the right moment. So Sydney just need to do better. I think Burgess on one side, Wahim as well, they need to find him a lot more when they can because he makes great runs. But it has been the Roar with some very, very good chances. I mean, they've got to score that there. There was a chance that came earlier as well. Benny Waller knows he should have done better. So really, when it comes to actual chances, I think the Roar have had their own and had their share. Just need to stay in the game long enough to be able to make one of them count.
You can see that from the naked eye when you are watching the clash in terms of the possession and the domination from Sydney FC being all over Brisbane Roar with regards to how they are playing. 7 shots at goal, 3 to Brisbane Roar, 2 on target when it comes to Sydney FC. So realistically, they're not completely out-shooting their opposition. When you talk about those opportunity and those chances and where they're coming from, Max Burgess coming into this lineup. Joe Lolly is obviously out. Corey Holman is out for 6 weeks with an injury as well. But Max Burgess, I don't know if he's got a point to prove. Broski, he's a great player to have to call in, but what have you made of his first half? He's been so busy and so dangerous down the right-hand side.
He's been very lively. That's the sort of player Max Burgess is, and I think it's about taking his opportunity because realistically, when Lolly's fit and when Costa's fit, these two guys are going to play with Klimala centrally. So it will be difficult for him to get minutes when the squad is fully fit. So these are the moments he needs to make count. And he's done it so many times before. He's probably not used to, sitting on the bench and having to wait for his moment. But Max Burgess is a quality player, and you can see it. He doesn't let what's happened in the first couple of rounds affect him at all. He comes in, he knows he's good enough to do a job. They need to get him more of the ball, I think, in these spaces. The way he's looking for Klimala has been great as well. So I think just that link up and the fact that they haven't played together all that often is showing a little bit.
You've got Max Burgess on one side, and then on the other side, Jordan Courtney Perkins. And I don't know why, but sitting out there, he looks even taller than I last remember. But he had a couple of opportunities off his own foot, off his own head a little bit earlier as well, pushing forward and really injecting himself into the attacking third.
Yeah, he's a very good player, Jordan, and we've seen him play in a more advanced role, and this just shows his versatility. I mean, with, I guess Costa around on that left wing, it's not a like-for-like player, but he brings other qualities. He gets forward well, he comes inside well, and he's got a great shot. We've seen him score an amazing goal for Sydney FC before. And inside he doesn't stick just to where he's playing out in the wing. He comes inside, gets involved, and he's been great as well. Very, very lively, the two of the wingers.
Take a look at the Paramount Plus Player Index, crunching all the numbers for the performance across the first half of football that we have seen. It is Joel King that's sitting top of the pops. When I'm looking at those players there, it's looking at a very good defensive display at times from Sydney FC. We have seen Brisbane Roar breach the defence a couple of times. What do you want to see come the second half then, talking about the defence of Sydney FC in particular, Broski?
They need to stay switched on. I think last week they conceded a very late goal and it was a poor one off a set piece. So I think tonight it'll be the same, making sure that they make that possession count. They need to get a goal because the longer Brisbane stay at 0-0, the crowd will get into this game, and I know we can't see them on the other side, but it's very full on this side and behind the goal. If they start to get into the game, the Roar will start to believe a little bit. Ruben will be screaming on the sideline, and they have had their moments. He will be reminding them of that they've had probably a couple better chances. So they need to stay in, be careful when they press, not to get too eager. And Sydney just need to be clinical.
Yeah, you get Ruben Zakovic during the entirety of that first half is pushing and telling all of his players to get up. Anthony Burke-Roy, in particular Anthony, is getting so much whiplash from the ears from Ruben Zakovic. That is the Hungry Jacks halftime show. Don't forget, Unite Round is heading away very, very soon, live across the A-Leagues, the Isuzu UTE A-Leagues and the Ninja A-League as well. And you have an opportunity to win a VIP package. All you have to do is jump online and you can enter that. And this is what you have coming away, the golden tickets. So accommodation, tickets, and it's great. 22nd to the 24th of November. You can keep it and mark that in your calendar. This is what is heading your way across the weekend as well. So much football. Tomorrow night is Football Tonight, presented by Ninja. And we are stoked to have a very special guest in Chloe Lagazzo join us on the couch. And a congratulations to Chloe as well. Western United got their Ninja A-League season off to a very comprehensive win against the Wellington Phoenix 4-1. So congratulations to Chloe. We can dissect all of that and have a bit of fun on the couch tomorrow evening as well. We are off to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We have a huge second half heading away live from Suncorp Stadium. As we head there, we leave you with some of the best goals. This one from a star striker from Sydney FC, Mark Yanko.
No time for two touches this time for Young. And Yanko's having a crack, and it's in! Oh, what a goal! What a way to open your account in the Hyundai A-League. Something special from the big Austrian striker. What a finish!
Welcome back to Suncorp, where some of the illustrious alumni of Brisbane Roar are watching this opening home match of their 20th season. Remo Buers, Jonty Richter, Reinaldo Costa, the slippery fish Enrique was there. And hopefully they'll get a win to celebrate as well. It's not there for the moment. Scoreless at the break in what has been a pretty dour first half from the home side. Daniel McBreen, we were looking at the statistics during the halftime break, and Sydney FC are holding up their end of the bargain with a pretty solid performance, but it hasn't been all that for the home side so far.
Well, no, it hasn't for Brisbane. 73% possession in the first half for Sydney, and just 69% pass completion for Brisbane Roar. And giving it away way too simply. Their first touches when they have the opportunity to break forward as well have been very heavy at times. Just giving that ball back to Sydney FC and bringing the pressure back on themselves.
The worst average passing accuracy so far this season sits at 75% after the first two rounds, to give you some idea of where Brisbane are at the moment. There's a good ball over the top though from Jelicic. It only takes one. Here's Tom Waddingham off the post, so unlucky. It's not finished yet. Here's Jelicic now. The cross back in towards Waddingham. Cleared by Hayden Matthews. Bright start this though from Brisbane at the start of the second half. O'Shea, Halloran drives it in again towards Waddingham. And cleared by Popovic this time.
Well, we saw in the first half Sydney with a high line, but the pass forward from Brisbane was never on target. And here it is, right on target. Tom Waddingham gets in behind, helps it on. He's very unlucky there as it comes cannoning back off the post. And just when we were bemoaning the performance of Brisbane Roar, they show that they can open up that Sydney defence.
I wonder if Ruben Zadkovic found the right words during the halftime break. Jelicic gliding past players before being fouled by Ryan Grant. And applause from the bench. Ruben Zadkovic. Now Jay O'Shea. There is Ruben Zadkovic. Was at Perth. A number of these players have been to Perth and back for Brisbane over the last couple of seasons. Now Corey Brown with the left boot. O'Shea steps over. Brown delivers. Good ball to the back post. Oh, and it was missed by Ryan Grant, intentionally or otherwise. And Harry van der Sar can only turn it behind.
Well, I'm not sure it was intentional. I think he tries to help this one away and just miscues it. It's a bright start for Brisbane in this second half.
Senna dispossessed again, going to ground too easily. And that's not the first time in this match the referee's allowed play to continue. When Senna has gone to ground looking for the free kick, and there Shane Skinner, just his 6th match in charge. What did Ruben Zadkovic make of that from Leo Senna? Now, does Sydney try and find an answer to that early pressure from the home side at the start of the second half with Caceres? They may have young players filling the bench, Sydney FC, but there's so much experience out there on the pitch. They will be very hard to get flustered. Wayne closed down. There are the kids. For Ufuk-Talay on the bench. Reserve goalkeeper Harrison Mears is the father figure there at 27 years of age. O'Shea in the early ball forward, looking for Waddingham. Ability under pressure, and that's a poor pass, cleverly left. Klimala, the chance for Sydney, and he makes no mistake. Patrick Klimala with his second goal of the season. And Sydney FC, after an early scare at the start of this second half, finally have the goal that their first half display suggested was always coming.
Well, invariably it came from a mistake from Brisbane Roar. I don't think there was too much pressure on Billity. Just a poor pass out, had a poor first touch, and on the Harvey Norman replay, that's all it took. Ball went back up. Patrick Klimala has been running in behind that back line all night. Courtney Perkins with the neat little dummy, and a clinical finish from Klimala into the far corner of the nets. And you can see Ufuk-Talay likes what he sees. And they probably thought at half-time they deserved to go in with the lead with the pressure they had. Probably didn't create any real out-and-out great chances, but the first one that comes in the second half after weathering a little bit of storm from Brisbane is duly dispatched by that man.
2 goals and an assist. He's been directly involved in every goal Sydney FC have scored in the A-League so far this season. He's also scored in the AFC Champions League too. Burgess, the cross back in towards Klimala. He was looking to add a second in quick succession there. Van der Sarg's ball intercepted by Caceres. That's only Brisbane's second game. They're still looking for their first goal. They are trailing again, as they were early in Auckland, to that Harry van der Sarg own goal. Corey Brown's foul. Ufuk-Talay asking the question, and referee Shane Skinner just coming across to tell him to leave Ali Reza Fagani alone.
I think Ali Reza Fagani can look after himself. Well, you can see what Ufuk-Talay was talking about. Centre had got past him, clear space in front of him, and was just rugby tackled to the ground.
It's good play again from centre. Oh, as Grant avoids the loose ball. Now Burgess, one way then the other. Can't pass it back to Grant, who's in an offside position, and Burgess has managed to win a corner, and he took himself from a very promising position to a more difficult one wide on the right, as we see the goal again.
Courtney Perkins' little dummy that fooled the Brisbane defence and allowed Klimala to break free.
He ran to celebrate in front of the travelling support, of which there are a good healthy number.
There was actually a decent crowd on this camera side of the field, but it looks like they've blocked off the complete other side. So it looks empty, but it's not actually.
Ball in, back post from Burgess this time. Joel King again with Senna. Coolly done. King looks up, big switch of play for Burgess. This is nice again from Sydney. Can he get the cross in, Max Burgess? Looks short this time. Waim. He's a tricky customer in the area, Waim. They've kept it alive. Senna. Senna's cross. Can't beat the front man, Walid Shaw.
Well, you can see undoubted quality of Senna, but he's crossing tonight. Just hasn't had the elevation.
Ball is very close to his standing foot every time he looks to cross it in. Van der Sar. Nice little triangle again. Well, Brisbane have to be careful here because their bright start to the second half is already starting to feel like a distant memory. Sydney with all the ball and Burgess finding space again. Grant. Burgess. Ball to the back post is not a bad one. Freak comes and punches. And the referee decides, after taking a long hard look at it, that it was a foul by Courtney Perkins, who doesn't tend to agree.
Well, I don't tend to agree either. I think they both just went for the ball. Macklin Freak, he said earlier, he said he wants to come out and smash people. Well, I think they both just come, and it's a solid challenge from both of them. Nothing wrong in that at all. Play on.
Well, the free kick taken there would suggest that you're right, Daniel McBreen, except that inside the 6-yard box, contact with the goalkeeper. We know that that is almost always the free kick.
Don't get me started.
Now, O'Shea over the top for Jelicic. He'll need support. Waddingham is making his way through the middle now. Jelicic goes again. He wants the corner, and he's got it. Joel King this time feeling like decisions aren't going Sydney's way. Perhaps a set piece is the answer for Brisbane. Perhaps it's Rafael Struijk, the Dutch-born Indonesia international. Just 21 years of age. Scored a fantastic goal in World Cup qualifying for Indonesia during the last window. Now, Corey Brown's ball, back post. Oh, fantastic save. Andrew Redmayne, that was brilliant to deny Warland, who did wonderfully well to get his head even on it.
Well, again, it's a wonderful ball into that back post area. And at the full stretch on the dive. It's the diving header. And you said it, Robbie, did wonderfully well to even get contact, let alone on target. And Andrew Redmayne stands big and tall, keeps them at bay.
Well, more than spectacular from Redmayne, it was just alert. Yeah. He was in the right place at the right time. Waddingham's glancing header for Halloran. They tried to force the issue with Jelicic. Oh, that's dangerous. You could hear the call of switch from the coaching staff. Brown tried to, only found Klimala. Sydney FC. Oh, and Klimala denied by Bility.
Well, there you see it. The positioning from Andrew Redmayne. Saw the flight of the ball. It's got to be a foul surely there from Ryan Grant.
And it's gone Sydney's way initially. There's O'Shea on way in, but that's not the free kick. But O'Shea is saying the free kick has to be going the other way. I don't think the referee saw it. I think he was unsighted. He hasn't received word from the fourth official or assistant to help him out. And the free kick goes Sydney's way. Brisbane are going to make a change, and it's the end of the night for Keegan Jelicic. Not his most fruitful 59, 60 minutes of A-League football. And in fact, he's been given a reprieve at the last minute. It's Anthony Burke-Gilroy who's going to come off. And Florent Berenguer, the French playmaker, comes into the contest for his first minutes of the A-League season. Anthony Burke-Gilroy, the player coming off. Caceres turns into trouble. O'Shea just poking the ball through, hoping for a run off the shoulder. Now we're seeing a little change in formation here as Berenguer might be up as a sort of second striker alongside Tom Waddingham. 3 goals last year for Berenguer in an injury-riddled season. His first with Brisbane after several years of good service with Melbourne City. Halloran this time gives away the free kick again, that time no complaints.
Well, again, it's nice footwork from centre. You can see there. That's the left foot that Halloran just drags across.
O'Shea and Shaw still the two sixers in the middle of the park. Dancing header, it's another little foul in the back. Free kick again for Sydney. Wayne asking the question. There are a few players starting to get a little frustrated out there as Sydney FC look to get things moving.
Well, we've heard Ufuk Talay and the players now say, well, how many fouls is it until they're going to start getting some yellow cards? They feel that there's been a number of fouls, continuous.
And there perhaps a handball as well. Just one yellow card so far. That was for Keegan Jelicic. Pretty much set the tone for his evening so far. Now, Brisbane feel they should have another free kick there. Temper's starting to fray a little bit on the young referee, Shane Skinner, who wants play to continue. He's not getting involved in all the talk. Sent up with Caceres. Hayden Matthews with Popovic. Grant, little touch. Centre again. Macklin Freak coming a long way under pressure from Klimala. And it's from one goalkeeper all the way through to the other with Andrew Redmayne. We might head down to Tara Rushton on the sidelines quickly. Tara, what have you seen down there?
Yeah, team, it's actually really hard to jump in because it definitely does feel like the intensity has dialed up down here. Now, Ruben Zakovic, the departing words for Florent Berenguer, who jumped on the pitch. He said, go and play with some confidence, go and show the boys some confidence, give them some confidence. We know that he's 35 years old and he comes armed with so much experience and what he's won here in the Isuzu UTE A-League men's competition. 3 premierships, 1 championship. So he's hoping that he will really boost what happens in this second half.
Fantastic, thank you, Tara. Berengay does bring a certain class, and certainly that's what Brisbane wanted from him last season in that attacking sense. He was coming off Player of the Year performance with Melbourne City, only to see much of the season spent on the sidelines last year. But he does have the quality. Came through the ranks at Sochaux in France. Now the little one too. Burgess looks up and crosses, and Bility turns it behind under pressure again. It's been a busy night for him at the back.
Well, what Brisbane need is someone with some composure to get on the ball and control the tempo, play a pass here and there, move Sydney around a bit. No one's really stuck their hand up tonight to take that role. Berengay is the man that can do that.
It's taken short. Waim was looking for Caceres. He didn't find him. Bility, or Walid Shaw rather, looking for the most difficult pass out of defence, but they've managed to keep it alive. I guess you've got to pay some credit to Sydney's press to deny the likes of O'Shea and Jelicic any time on the ball, but Berengay's class shines through there. Waddingham with the chance to equalise, and he does so. Tom Waddingham. And there's the confidence that Brisbane needed. The quality of Florent Berengay putting his foot on the ball. The defence-splitting pass. And Tom Waddingham, after hitting the post earlier in this half, making no mistake at the second time of asking.
Well, on the Harvey Norman replay, you see exactly what we were talking about. The player to have the composure to get their head up and thread a pass. And Tom Waddingham made the run. Wonderful ball from Berengay. Exactly what Ruben Zatkovic asked him to do. And as he gets under pressure, maybe a deflection off the defender who's sliding in. Tara Rushton loves it. And as they look to make the substitution, the young man brings them equal. Well, that's what you call an impact from your substitute. Wonderful composure and ball to split the Sydney FC defence. And a nice finish from that man, Thomas Waddingham.
Well, first goal of the season for Brisbane Roar, a first goal of the season for Tom Waddingham. We saw that Raphael Strauch was just about to come on. We're hearing that there's been a little change of plans. No, it looks like he is going to come on now, along with Jack Hingert. Now VAR are having a look at this one and the timing of Tom Waddingham's run. It looked close, but it looked good to the naked eye. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's onside surely. Joel King takes that step and then looks to step up. I think he mistimes it, to be honest.
And it's Hayden Matthews as well, who's Waddingham with that goal in the cup at the start of last season. That was really that cup run where he announced himself. The goal is confirmed. Macca, spot on. You've got the striker's eye. Or is there a little bit of wriggle room where a striker is concerned?
Well, there was no wriggle room needed there. He timed it to perfection. Joel King took that one step. And that was the half a second that he decided to change his mind, and it was too late.
Midway through the second half, Brisbane are back on level terms, and they might have more here. Waddingham with Berengay. Oh, he looked to play it across the goal, I think, at the first time of asking towards Jelicic. Courtney Perkins is looking a little worse for wear after this one with the big slide.
I think Ben Halloran had a call for that free kick, but there you can see times it to perfection.
So Rafael Straub comes on for his home debut. And Jack Hingett, the vastly experienced Jack Hingett, A-League match number 285. 258 for Brisbane Roar after starting with North Queensland. Caceres. So 3 substitutions now from Brisbane. Tala yet to make a change for Sydney FC with his youngsters on the bench all the way in. That's nicely done. The early finish. Brilliant. Leo Senna. Well, if he adds goal scoring to his list of talents that we've already seen so far in this A-League season, he is going to be a formidable opponent this season. Leo Senna with an outrageously taken goal and restores Sydney's lead barely 3 minutes after Brisbane had equalised.
Well, if a response was needed, it was delivered on the Harvey Norman replay. Wonderful interplay around the edge of the box. Senna with the little drag, the return pass from Waheem and the toe poke that catches Macklin Fleet a little off guard, and it's past him before he can even dive. And that's a cheeky little finish. And just the response that he wanted.
The real Jogo Bonito is right here at Suncorp Stadium. Classy finish. That really was reminiscent. Go back, the youngsters, and have a look at Romario and how he used to score goals for Brazil and PSV Eindhoven and Barcelona, because it was all about that, shooting before the goalkeeper is ready, whatever it takes to get the ball in the back of the net. Quite breathtaking. Sydney 2, Brisbane 1.
Well, not only was the keeper not expecting it, the defenders weren't, and we weren't either. It was in the back of the net before we even realised what was happening. It was nice play. Look, Tale will be extremely happy, but after fighting their way back, Brisbane, Ruben Zatkovic will be a little less pleased.
And here comes Sydney again. Klimala lunging in, wall, and that had to be clean. It was. But Sydney, having been just shaken up a little bit by that Waddingham goal, and now looking to stamp their authority back on this one. Now was Senna caught a little bit late there. Caceres, way in, still going. Space on the left, Courtney Perkins, Klimala! The flag is up. Klimala doesn't like it. It will be looked at. And it might have been Courtney Perkins on the far side.
Well, I think that's what they're looking at. It did look like he may have just strayed into an offside position as the ball bounced out to him. So we have another look here. Ball bounces there. No, he is. I think he's just going to make that. I think he's onside. How are we getting the lines out? But on the eye, he looks to be just onside.
Well, we said after 10 minutes that this match looked to have goals in it. We were questioning that at half-time, but now they have come.
Well, we can hold off on celebrating this one yet, but...
Well, perhaps this is the moment to just put the full stop on that Leo Senna goal. It's his first goal in a competitive match since scoring for Goiás against Anápolis in the Brazilian State League final of May 2016. So
that is a barren run.
Offside against Courtney Perkins. The goal does not stand. So it's still game on. There we see how close it was. Now the Waddingham line, you may have noticed, was one line, bright green, because the two lines were touching. And when it's that close, play goes to the attacker.
Well,
there we saw the two lines.
Yeah. My eyes were a little off on that second one. Not very often they're off on the offsides.
Now, Freak with Warland. Look at the press coming again. Warland evades one, evades two. And now perhaps there's a little bit of space for Brisbane. Jack Ingan. He's got Berenguer ahead of him. He looks for the Frenchman. He's got front position on Hayden Matthews. That's another good ball for O'Shea. Jelicic turning away from trouble. Space on the left-hand side. Strauk with Brown. And they have a corner. And that's better from Brisbane, from one end to the other.
Well, it was good from Berenguer again, down the right. Got his on the end of the pass and then held it up nicely, found a pass to keep the pressure coming.
Just as Jay O'Shea was about to deliver, Ben Halloran has already been fouled or given away 5 free kicks in the game so far. It's a match high. Pretty sure one of them was a bit tough.
I'll say a couple of them were a bit tough.
But he's in there again. Now defenders and strikers have to be careful. The den is waiting to erupt. O'Shea's ball deep to the back post. Warland keeps it in, but Popovic then gives it straight back, and it's Jelicic's turn to see if he can bring more rain. Well, an offside disallowed goal proved costly last week. It might again. Straub scores! And he goes to celebrate with his new fans at the Den. The Indonesia international, just minutes after coming on, draws Brisbane level for the second time this evening.
Well, we spoke about the impact that Florent Berenguer had moments after coming on. Well, Stroik wants to join the party as well. On the Harvey Norman replay, it's one high. Ball goes central, and the overlapping run from Stroik, there's nothing else he can do except put it away. Good pressure from Brisbane. Jelicic gets his head up and has a look. And Waddingham has enough time to turn and just lay it onto the path. And Andrew Redmayne comes out, but it's tucked underneath him and nothing he can do. Welcome to Brisbane Raw, and a fine way to ingratiate yourself to the Den.
A goal and an assist for Tommy Waddingham. Rafael Strauk, the Dutch-born Indonesia international, showing that it's not just Instagram followers that he brings to Brisbane Raw, but it's goals as well. And Sydney FC have made their first change. Adrian Segicic has come on to replace Anas Waim for Sydney FC as they look to take the lead again, but there's more defending to be done at first here. Halloran, the little 1-2 with Jelicic, couldn't find him for the second return ball. And Senna is fouled again, and Jay O'Shea continues to have words with Shane Skinner, and they're claiming that there's more going on here.
Well, there was definitely contact. Was he going down before the contact was made? I think that might be what Jay O'Shea is saying, that under the pressure, it was just, his legs just stopped just as the challenge came in.
Well, it's caught him out a couple of times in the game already, though.
Yeah.
Now there is Adrian Segicic, who scored what turned out to be just a consolation goal set up by Max Burgess in Hiroshima last weekend. Now Tom Waddingham is showing what he claims, I guess, are stud marks in the front of his shin. Now they are asking, I think, Jay O'Shea and Florent Berenguer that perhaps VAR should be having a look at this, because there certainly appears to be something there. Are we going to see it here? This is the replay of Senna going down, but it's on the halfway line where there was a foul or contact with Tom Waddingham, who stayed down. Jay O'Shea feels he knows who the culprit is. I think he was pointing it out there. Now, was it Leo Senna? Because now is, oh, well, there it is. Leo Senna just stepping on him.
Yeah,
I don't think there's nothing intentional.
I think that's
or anything he could have done to avoid that contact either.
No.
Well, that's what the Brisbane players are asking that be checked, but there was absolutely nothing I don't think Leo Senna could do to avoid that contact.
No, I agree on that one.
Referee Shane Skinner. It hasn't been the easiest of matches for him to officiate. He's had to keep a lid on things between two sides that were frustrated as much as anything with their own performances in the first half. And now that the goals come as we head towards the climax of this contest, 7.5 minutes left in regulation time. Brisbane have shown great character to twice come from behind. We say it so often, but the fine margins that can mean the difference between a win or a draw or a defeat. There's been much of the history between these two sides as well. So evenly matched. 20 wins for Brisbane, 19 draws, 19 wins for Sydney in 58 previous meetings. Strauk can't dispossess Popovic. It's a good ball. Segicic was trying to run through there, and that was well played. Macklin Freak came out and made a very important intervention. Now Grant down the right-hand side with Burgess. Burgess attacking Brown. Burgess still saved again by Freak. Ryan Grant, the follow-up. Oh, how did that not go in? It might yet still. Denied once, twice, and then 3 times. As Caceres can only steer the ball over the crossbar.
Well, it's all happening in the Brisbane Roar penalty area. Max Burgess with the initial strike. He couldn't get it away. As it comes across there, I thought Courtney Perkins should just tuck it away, but I think he tried to take a touch. Yeah, Anthony Caceres knows that was a glorious chance to put them in front.
And there's still time. for more. Mufuk is not happy on the sidelines. In the ear of the referee's assistant on this near side. Courtney Perkins towards Segicic. Bility wins the first header and the second. Here's Caceres. Brisbane have been much more combative in this second half. Popovic with Grant looking for Burgess. Possession hasn't changed much, mind you. It's still 70-30 in Sydney's favour. But Brisbane have levelled up the jewels at basically 50-50. The free kick goes Brisbane's way and the crowd roar. Hingert with O'Shea, has to be careful. Warland, Brown wants it and gets it on this left-hand side. Straub ahead of him, Berengay through the middle, Waddingham as well. Jelicic, Berengay was looking for the little touch, Straub will keep it in. Jelicic in support. The cross is not a bad one, the header. Jack Hingert, well, that would have been a rare goal, with him arriving with the flying header from the edge of the box.
He was going to take some header from that distance. You say that possession 70-30. Saying that, it's 3 shots to target on for Brisbane to 5 for Sydney. 8 shots in total to 13. Hasn't really been that dominant in the penalty box area, has it, from Sydney FC?
So there we see the Paramount Plus player index. Tom Waddingham with the goal and the assist. Leo Senna with his goal as well. Knocking off Joel King at this stage, but there's still time for that to change as well. Second half shots are 6-5 in Sydney's favour. And possession in the second half is more like 60-40. 3 shots apiece on corners here, on target rather. Here's Burgess again. Senna. Into the feet of Segicic. Adrian Segicic. Ball to the back post. Not a bad one. Halloran doing the defending and Hingert doing the clearing. Jaden Kucharski comes on to replace Courtney Perkins with just 2 minutes left. He knows a thing or two about a grandstand finish, mind you. Jaden Kucharski got the goal that kept Sydney in the cup when they went on to win it in 2023 in their first game against the Mariners in the 120th minute. And then, of course, the derby goal at Allianz Stadium last year. Courtney Perkins has made his way back to the bench. The Sydney FC fans still in fine voice. Oh, and the free kick has gone Sydney's way. It was going to run out of play now. Ryan Grant is not happy about something by Rafael Straub.
Well, he's not happy that the score's 2-2. And that's the upshot of it. It was a late challenge from Rafael Straub. As he played that ball down the line, he got barged over the sideline.
Leo Senna Matthews looking for the ball. He gets it back. Hayden Matthews, another chance. Senna in the right place to help out his young central defender. King with Kucharski. His first touch is a good one. Burgess, first time ball for Segicic. Klimala's at the back post. Adrian Segicic back for Kucharski! Oh, he's done it again! 90th minute. And Jaden Kucharski with a stunning goal. No chance for Macklin Freak. And it's the kids off the bench. Did they enjoy that? I think they did.
Well, you said it, Robbie. In the Harvey Norman replay, this guy knows a little bit about late goals and drama, and what a finish that is, by the way. It was wonderful play, great early ball from Max Burgess. Adrian Segicic had a little bit to do. He gets his head up and just tees it up and says, go on, finish that for me. And Jaden Kucharski, look at him screaming. An absolute rocket past Macklin Freak. Wonderful strike from the young man. And he's off to celebrate with the Sky Blue supporters.
Brilliant finish. Well, his highlights reel makes for some viewing. Already an NPL Player of the Year 3 seasons ago. A very talented young man who now at 22 years of age, it's a big season for him. The years are going by. He's still a young talent, but he won't have that moniker forever.
Well, there was plenty of talk about the Segicics and the Kucharskis when all these big-name players started to come in. You've got your Lollies, Costas, and where are these young guys going to get the minutes? Well, they're out injured, and they're stepping up to the plate. Segicic to Kucharski for the winner, maybe.
Five minutes of stoppage time. Maybe an extra minute or two added on because it took us a little while to get going again. Well, what a second half this has been. Between a Sydney FC side who have dominated large periods of this match, a Brisbane side that refused to lie down and may yet still. Because for all Sydney's attacking swagger, defensively, they do occasionally leave the back door ajar.
Well, they do. And we spoke about this in pre-season, didn't we? That may be their Achilles heel. 2 young guys at centre-back. They love to go press high. You do leave space in behind, and spaces if you don't get it right every time.
Jelicic, back post. Oh, they were queuing up. Jelicic couldn't find the killer ball. And that was again another example as O'Shea, no way past Klimala. A couple of words between Klimala and O'Shea as no free kick is forthcoming. It's long towards Berengay, who got in between the two of them. Waddingham is there. I thought for a moment it was going to fall invitingly for the teenage striker. It may yet do. O'Shea, ball to the back post. Strauk. It's going to be his throw. Sydney want to make a change. Patrick Wood is about to come on. It's a good ball for Strauk again. No way through though, surrounded by blue and white. Now Patrick Wood is going to come on for Klimala, who, what is it, hamstring, cramp, calf, the combination. Jay O'Shea is asking the question as Patrick Klimala thinks he's using up the final seconds of this match. They will almost certainly be added on. Klimala with the first goal of the evening. Thought he had another in there as well. Brisbane. There's little time remaining now. The 5 minutes of stoppages have expired. We are now at the referee, Shane Skinner, and his discretion, Andrew Redmayne. I think we call that experience. Trying to wind down the clock again. The crowd will have seen the home fans, this new look Brisbane side up close and personal for the first time. They will have seen promise from what they've seen so far, that they may not yet have the win. Ability gets it back. They need it up the other end. It's too complicated. Wallen this time goes long. Grant's header. Burgess under pressure from Brown. Popovic clears. Bility back. Free kick. As Patrick Wood took Walland out. May have got an elbow in the head for his troubles, but the free kick was signalled in Brisbane's direction.
I'm not too sure if it's a head clash, is it?
I don't think there's too much in it for Patrick Wood at all.
No.
He's required medical assistance, so he's got to leave the field of play, which means that Sydney FC are now defending this one with just 10. O'Shea. Macklin Freak thought about coming to take it. It will be O'Shea to deliver. It'll be into the box. We're in the 8th minute of stoppage time. Jay O'Shea long. Redmayne comes and claims Walland was the target. Andrew Redmayne. Referee again says there will be stoppages. Well, if the goalkeeper's getting cramps, we have problems.
Oh, it was a big take there. Came out and collected well, and then felt the slight contact that was there.
Garongay doing the counting out for the old 6-second rule, which was never really ever enforced. Will there be time for Brisbane? O'Shea over the top. Waddingham, one to chase. Is there a foul there? No, says the referee. The crowd don't like it. They thought Waddingham had front position, and it's going to be the last action of this match. Sydney FC get back to winning ways after the derby, while Brisbane are still looking for their first points of the new season. Scoreless at half-time. A thriller minute in the second half as Jaden Kucharski, set up by his fellow youngster off the bench, Adrian Sagicic, in the end claimed all 3 points for Sydney FC. Klimala had opened the scoring in the 51st minute. Tom Waddingham equalised. Leo Senna with a brilliantly taken second goal for Sydney, only for Raphael Strauch to equalise the second time for the home team with his first goal in A-League football. And it was all entertaining enough until then, but nothing had prepared us for the final shot in the arm, and that came from Jaden Kucharski with a wonderful winner, worthy of winning this football match as it finishes here at Suncorp. Brisbane Roar 2, Sydney FC 3. And let's head straight down pitch side with Tara Rushton.
So you're making that a little bit of a habit there, Jade. You've been on the pitch all of 1 minute. How good does that feel?
No, it's good. That's what we come on. The subs are supposed to come on and make a difference, and I'm glad I could pull through the team.
You did indeed. Just quickly, how was Retta's hamstrings? There was a bit, the clock was ticking down and everyone was cramping up, weren't they?
I felt them. They were pretty tight, so I had to give him a bit of a stretch for him, yeah.
Talking about the complexion of this game, goodness me, absolutely dominated the first half. And then the second half, it did open up a little bit. It looked as though Patrick Klimala got you the winner, deemed offside. You were watching and you just had to wait for the opportunity to come on. How did you see it overall?
Yeah, it was good. Like, the boys started off quite well. It kind of went both ways throughout the next 60 minutes and then kind of pulled through at the end. Unlucky to get the second. I think we got the second, they might have closed off a bit more. Gave them a chance, they went down the other and scored, and lucky we could make a chance late in the game and we scored.
And what's it been like for you, having all of these new players come in, Patrick Klimala, Douglas Costa, Leo Senna, a host of players that you can learn from, but it also means you've got to be ready when you're called upon, but you're not necessarily going to get the start. How does that work for you? Yeah,
you just got to be ready. Everyone's eligible to play any game they are. We've got some injuries now, so there's opportunity for us boys to get a run. You just got to be ready, train hard every week, and when you get a chance, you've got to try and take it.
And what are the boys going to do for you when you walk inside those sheds? What does the celebration go like for you? Because you've saved them yet again.
I think we just got to prepare. Just have a chill night tonight, fly back tomorrow, and get ready for Thursday.
That's exactly right. You've got Thursday. Big congratulations on the result.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, cheers.
Thanks so much, Jade. We're now going to be joined by Tom Waddingham. Thomas, oh gosh, commiserations. That must hurt so much, considering you had to concede, and you conceded. You didn't have to so late in the game.
Yeah, no, we fought hard. I mean, first half kept it scoreless. Did very well, worked hard. First game at home, so unfortunately not to get the win. So yeah.
For you and your personal performance, a goal and an assist here at home tonight, does that give you a bit of confidence and make you think, look, we are heading in the right direction, especially you?
Yeah, certainly. I think my focus right now is on the team, and if the team does well, then I think I'll do well. And so, yeah, it's going to click, and we really believe in it, and I hope everyone else believes in it. So yeah,
it was a beautiful